Welcome to the B Team Podcast. I am your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our permanent guest,
Rob Nelson.
We're here every week to talk to you about all things Bentonville, bourbon, and business. The B Team Podcast. Be here.
This episode is dedicated to the memory of Donna Mae Mars.
Welcome to the B Team Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our permanent guest,
Bobby.
Bobby's
here.
He's here.
And he's smiling.
Time.
He's smiling,
well,
too.
not on time. You were after your guests.
He's just 5 minutes late.
Yeah, but that's on time.
Yeah, it's on time for me.
It's on time. That's on time.
You're lucky. I had guests today, or else I probably wouldn't have shown up.
Well, normally I introduce the guests, but because of the fact that you very infrequently bring guests,
Yep.
and these are some of your favorite people in the world.
Well, not just that, but it's probably the number one restaurant in Northwest Arkansas right now. So this counts for multiple guests.
Well, because you brought two of them, it doesn't count as hosting twice.
Yeah, that's how he gets it to count for multiple.
Yeah.
But the magnitude of the guests makes a big difference.
Yes, but I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I'm always honest with you.
Yeah.
With all the weight you lost, you can't possibly be spending a lot of time in Mezzaluna.
No, their food is fresh and
it's amazing.
Fresh ingredients, so it actually helps you eat healthier and lose weight.
It's portion size.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
I like how we did that.
Yeah.
Well, you're also walking back and forth.
That is right. So I get my steps in prior and after.
Well, why don't you introduce our guests? I'm going to put you on task today.
Well, this is Amy from Mezzaluna.
Hi.
And I call him Chef because I can never pronounce his name correctly.
Nobody does.
So I'm going to let you pronounce it.
Okay. Soerke.
Soerke.
My dad made it up. It's ridiculous.
No, it's a great name.
First episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if Josh didn't put me on the spot, I talk to Ange all the time. I'm like, oh, we're gonna go, and boom, it rolls right off the tongue. But a little pressure being on film, and Josh, make fun of me. So I was like,
it's my fault. Say that.
I'll spin the table on it. Yeah, it's easy with him. So
well, but
and they own the amazing restaurant Mezzaluna.
Well, and you introduced us to it. So Rob has this beautiful house downtown. If you haven't been over there yet,
we've been there.
It's like 18,000 square feet. I mean, it's massive. It's huge. He keeps adding on these additions.
Whatever. Yeah.
He's currently on his seventh edition.
Yeah. Well, he's got the zip line going from the top down into the pool now. I mean, it's amazing.
Yep.
Anyway,
tunnel to your house.
Oh, it would be great.
In Shadow Valley.
But anyway, so he's a local, and he continues to say you got to come to this new restaurant, and we've been there multiple times. But it is probably one of the top restaurants in town, and clearly one of your favorites.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, before we get into it, though, we should. Sorry. I mean, you're clearly way off today.
Well, I'm excited to have you speak earlier on and host. But Matt, we're going to drink some Blue Note.
Yeah, a little Blue Note.
Why don't you do your job since
So I'm over here just being quiet, so you might as well do this.
Now, this is a Guess Who store pick that was sitting in my closet trying to find something that I could impress you with today, Matt.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I was sitting your floorboard.
You guys bourbon fans?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Matt. He doesn't pour
the pressure here.
He's pouring a guess first, which is a big deal.
Which is nice.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's a good sound, isn't it?
Yeah. I just did a little light pour to make sure that I don't want it to be too much for him.
He still poured himself, though, before.
Oh, you want me to pour that?
Good. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's good. Man.
Do a cheers?
Cheers. Welcome.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
Mezzaluna and Blue Note.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, she's
got some heat.
She's 120.
Yeah.
It's my nose turning blue. Oh, yeah.
That's got some heat. That's not bad.
But it has a lot of spices and flavor, and it's just not heat.
Yeah, what would Russ say about it?
An ice cube would be amazing.
Yeah, or a splash of water.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Good call.
Or a drop or two. Russ would not like a splash. He'd like a drop.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to ask the first question on Mezzaluna, and I asked if I could ask this before you guys came in, because the story of how you guys came to be here, because you're not from here. Clearly, with the accent, you're not from Southern Arkansas.
Definitely not.
But you guys have a restaurant and a business out on the coast, on the West Coast.
Yes.
And so, can you share the story? Because it's an awesome one as to how you came to our town.
You want me to know?
Yes.
So we have a restaurant, same name, same kind of restaurant, same menu, same chef, same owners. Mezzaluna Pasteria, and it's in Pacific Grove, close to Carmel by the sea, and on the west coast in California. And we have the place around a little over 6 years now, right? A little over 6 years over there. And a couple of years, probably about 3 years ago, Tracy, a good friend of mine that I used to work with in New York City, she's a front of the house person, and then she became partners with Wolfgang Puck and did her own thing and everything. One day, long story short, she came to the restaurant, had dinner with her friend, and asked her, "So what are you doing right now?" "So I just moved to Bentonville." I'm like, "Where's that?" And she said, "That's in Northwest Arkansas." "Okay, where's that?" And I know where it's all about, but you tell me exactly where Arkansas is without
pointed on a map.
I wouldn't know. I'm like, yeah, around here. And I said, what are you doing over there? So I'm managing, she was managing the restaurants for the Waltons, the rope swing group. And she bought a house, and she said she loved it there. And I'm like, okay, that sounds really good. And she said, "So what are you doing now? You want to expand? You want to do something else?" I said, "Yeah, we actually wanted to expand to Phoenix, Arizona. So we're looking at houses, we're looking at real estate, for commercial real estate. Couldn't find anything commercial real estate. Amy finally found her dream house over there, and we got outbid by $150,000 asking price. I'm like, okay, this is like becoming California. So this is maybe a little too late and a dollar short. So
or a few dollars short.
Yeah, with a few, it's $150,000 short. and a week or so went by, and Tracy calls me. And she said, "Hey, you're just talking to Tom Walton and about you and your concept."
Shout out to Tom Walton.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah,
good man.
Absolutely.
And she says, like, we were talking, and maybe you will be interested since you want to expand. Why don't you expand to Bentonville?
And then you said where again? One more time, where?
No, I remember that one. And I'm like, Bentonville, okay. So, but I've never been there, so I don't know. I've never been to Arkansas, never been to Bentonville. So I mean, that's a long shot, right? And she said, "No, don't worry about it. We'll fly you out here. You let Amy know, what week you guys can come out here, and we'll take care of everything for you."
And fly out wasn't like on American or Delta.
It was American or Delta, whatever it was. I don't know. United.
I thought maybe Tom would have flown you out in his private jet. I thought now we're really whining and dining.
Not yet. Not yet. And so we came out here, and I told him, I said, "You like me? I don't care if we open another restaurant. I know we need to open another one. So whether that might be, sounds good to me." And she loved it here. We fell in love with the place, and especially the friendliness of everybody in Arkansas. Everybody's so friendly, and that was so different from what we used to in California. And it was noticeable, big time, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, let's do it. And then, we sat down and talked about options and what we can do. And there was really no real estate either. So we got back to square one. Like, where are we going to open this thing, But they showed us a concrete slab right on A Street next to Preacher's Son, where our restaurant is now. And they said, okay, you can pick this location, this corner, or that corner. So which one do you want? So we'll take this corner. And that's it. So
it's a further walk from your house. That walk, actually 20 steps.
20 steps. I mean, that works off to dessert.
You guys didn't think about that to be an extra 20 steps for Bobby.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know each other yet. But I mean, seriously, what an amazing story that they came to you and brought you out here. And I mean, that's like having two businesses so far away. I mean, that took a lot of risk.
But the likelihood of somebody finding them and them saying, "I want to open a restaurant," and then them saying, "I want to go to Bentonville," and then making it happen, like so many things have to happen for that to happen.
For the stars to align.
Yes, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I mean, if you came out here and you didn't like Bentonville or what the Waltons had to offer or any of that stuff, you would not most likely
they
be here.
Wouldn't be here.
That's right.
But all of us have this, like we've said 1,000 times, have the same story. Rob was just going to have a winter house here.
Yeah.
And then 3 months later, he moved here.
Yeah, exactly.
We were going to just come for college, and we loved it and stayed. And
20 years
later.
later.
It like has that.
Yeah.
It's just like you said. It's like you're living a small town, but we have quite a few amenities for our population.
Yeah.
We have more than most would have.
Yep.
So.
Are you guys here full time, or are you still operating the restaurant in California, going back and forth, or what is your time look like?
We're here full time. I mean, we live here. We bought a house. So we bought a house way before we started even building the restaurant. So, which was smart.
That's commitment.
because that was it was I know interest rates not going to be good much longer. So I said let's buy something now, and even we didn't live here for another 6-8 months or so. You know.
Right.
But,
So you just have a team running the California restaurant. You check in on them.
General manager, my kitchen crew, and our crew that most of the people that work for us over there work for us for like 13 years now. So they're like front of the house and the cooks and prep cooks and everybody that works 13 years. So it's been a while. So I can't get rid of these guys.
Fantastic. and the menu is different, right? So to me, when I think of a traditional Italian restaurant, there's the chicken parm and there's a veal santo buca. You guys are pasta now. There's proteins and stuff in the pasta, but kind of take us through the menu and the differences, because what you make is so incredible, but it's not your typical Italian restaurant, correct?
It's typical if you go to Italy.
Okay.
It's a pasteria, which is common over there, like a pizzeria would be. Like they focus on pizza, we focus on pasta. And it's actually a funny story. When we got the restaurant in California, we already had 2 restaurants back then. And then we said, let's just travel. Let's not do another restaurant. And one of our, who was it? Doug, right? Alstred from Southern Wine and Spirits. He came by and said, Chef, I got some offer for you. I was like, what is it? It's like, there's a restaurant in Pacific Grove. And like, no, we're not going to do another restaurant. But we're going to travel. We go to Europe. We want to, have a little time on our hands. More quality of life, and but it's only $1. I'm like, what? For $1? How can it be $1? And I'm like, all right, which one is it? And then I said, okay, well, I think we should check it out. It's $1.
Dollar.
I mean,
It's practically free.
It costs you more in gas money to go back and forth to the restaurant.
yeah, California for sure, 100%. And so we checked it out. And it was a little rundown, obviously. So we had to put some money into it, and I told Amy, we didn't even know what to do with it. We just knew the guy who wanted to get rid of it, and he wanted to get out of the lease. And I'm like, okay, we'll do you the favor. Here's your $1. We'll take over. And then we didn't know what to do with it. So but it was a French restaurant, but we already had a French restaurant. We already had an American-style California cuisine restaurant in Carmel, and so let's just do Italian. Let's do only pasta. Right, Mama Toli? And she's like, are you crazy? What are you talking about? Nobody eats only carbs. Especially this Pebble Beach and this and that. It's like people are like Beverly Hills.
But that was my first impression. I said, it's only pasta?
Yeah. And she's like, you're crazy. This doesn't make any sense. I said, no, let's do that. Pasta, we make our house-made mozzarella, we do our house-made pasta, and gelato. And that's it. So let's keep it simple. Little doubt, I know it's not simple because it's a lot of work.
So let's explain. You're not buying pasta off the shelves or from a supplier.
This is not Barilla.
No. I mean, all the, preservatives and all the stuff that goes in, all that stuff, you're making the pasta and the bread and
Which I
the
think,
gelato.
what Americans don't like about that is our pasta, not what you
Homemade.
guys make. Because what you make doesn't do to you what our processed stuff does.
But what I found out is like once we did it, I mean it was a risk, right? But I said like, okay, we always can put a steak, we can change the menu, it's not a big deal.
Right.
We're an Italian restaurant, you don't have to change the name. We just
you can always change the menu.
Items to the menu, take less pasta, do something else. But it was a big hit from day one. And the reason why I think because everybody says like, well, my perfect excuse to eat carbs and pasta because that's all we got, right?
Well, also as well too, like your portions are great.
Yeah.
But I'm Italian, and on Sunday dinners, right? We think it's pasta day. And, my grandmother, my mom, they give you almost a pound of pasta, which is it's a mound. It's 4,000 calories of pasta and carbs, right? You go in, you get a beautiful portion, homemade, you leave full. You got dessert, you've got the homemade bread with that olive spread, which is a game changer, right? So
And the mozzarella bar.
And
the mozzarella, the table-side mozzarella.
Appetizer and all that. So by the time you work through that and it's all homemade, that's why you're so busy. And people just keep on coming back and back. And I drive by your restaurant 4:45 and there's always people standing outside waiting to get in.
Wow, that's a true testament.
No, serious. In just the last 5 or 7 days, people stand outside at 4:45 as I'm coming home from work.
Did you invite him over to Bar Nelson for a pregame?
No, I didn't.
That's what you should
But
do.
the other day,
That's pretty late for him
You could talk
getting
about
home.
this, right? I was outside in front of your restaurant because I had to
Half day?
pick something up or drop something off. And I got there a few minutes early, and there was another couple from out of state that got recommended your restaurant. They were there for what, their 35th or 38th anniversary.
Yes.
And I made friends with them while they were inside giving the your prep meeting or getting ready to open the doors for the day. And I made friends with them. They're like, oh yeah, we got highly recommended to come to this restaurant. We're traveling through Northwest Arkansas. We're only here for a night or two, and the few people we talked to said you have to go to Mezzaluna for your anniversary.
Well, Matt just
That's amazing.
Matt just hit on something though. You were coming home at 4:45. That's not the end of your work. I mean,
No, just from the field.
I was going to say, I mean, we start around noon and at 4:45, he's already wrapping
He's
it
in
up.
overtime, man.
In the field. Yeah, that doesn't count office time and emails and phone calls.
Office time, Angie.
Yeah.
It's funny because they know that that's true.
Nice part time.
I'm like, I mean, if we're going to get a seat at the bar, or have a chance of getting a seat at the bar at Mezzaluna, I got to cut my days short because I got to be there at 5:15.
Well, we've only been able to come, I think we've been there twice.
Yeah.
But
No, more
it
than
sounds
that.
like Rob's
Yeah.
been going a lot more. And
Oh, yeah.
invited
No,
I'm
us.
not getting the invite.
Yeah, I think
It's
maybe
Angie and
that's
I's go-to.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I know.
like, there's a lot of times where it's like, it's just her and I at home. The kids are off to college and, their own lives and all that stuff. And Angie and I are like, you feel like cooking? I'm like, no, not really. You want to just walk down to Mezzaluna and split a dish of pasta and a bottle of wine? And it's a no-brainer. And many times that's what we do.
You know what I like
And we
about-
sit at the bar.
You know what I like about this place? I moved here 14 years ago, and if you wanted Italian, you went to Olive Garden. And no disrespect to
God.
Olive, but no disrespect to Olive Garden.
no, of course not.
Right? Everybody's got their own thing.
Yeah.
And when I bring in my family from New York, and I'm like, hey, let's go out to Italian, I get the eye roll. But this is a place that, as a New Yorker, you're proud to
Oh,
bring people in to say
100%.
this is more reflective of
Yeah.
what we grew up having.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like Sergey said, it's like going to a pasteria in Italy, which not a lot of people are doing that concept that I know of.
I mean, you're one of one in town. There's nobody else doing. There's other Italian restaurants, but nobody else is a pasteria.
Yeah,
right?
nobody's a pasteria.
Yeah. And no,
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
You have 100% market share.
Well, and your location is
the
amazing.
location's amazing. No,
Yeah, we
absolutely.
lucked out. But I'm saying, like I said, we signed up for that, 2.5 years, or 3 years prior before we even
Sight unseen. Like there was a vision in
Like,
Tom's.
okay.
It was on a piece of paper.
It's concrete.
That was a concrete slab. That's
Yeah.
all. I'm like, okay.
Was it working directly with Tom and Stewart, or was it working with
No, it's like it's like this the
rope swing group?
the rope, not the ropes, but the Blue Crane,
Yeah.
and David Swain, the main guy over there.
So
Best buddy.
what do you all want to share about your restaurant for the viewers? Like, what are some of your favorite dishes or most popular dishes, or whatever you want to share?
Why don't you talk about your wine? That was a challenge
yes.
for Amy. It's like getting the same or similar wines that we have in California. California is very easy. You text your purveyor and it comes the next day.
Right.
It was a little challenging over here because there was not that much of a variety of choices.
Yep.
Italian and California and American wines and so forth.
And I'll share a story after you share about the wines, because one of the first times you and I met, we talked wine.
Yes.
Yeah, because I got to stop talking because otherwise you can't drink.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a challenge. So we want to offer people good wine, good food with good wine at a reasonable price. And it's been challenging getting it here in Arkansas. So just being patient and working with the distributors and just not giving up on, we really want to get this product and we're passionate about wine and we'll wait for good product so we can offer that to our guests. And it's been great. It's been great, but it's challenging.
It's funny. So when we first opened and I look at the wine list, I'm like, what's all this red stuff lined out over here? Oh, this is all the wines that we want to have, but we can't have. I'm like, what? That was like, what, half the menu? Maybe more.
That was the story I was going to share.
Oh, that's what you would.
One of the first times Angie and I came in, and I was like, oh, we're going to get a bottle of wine and, just share it. And I think you came to the table to help. And that's the story you said, hey, a lot of these we don't have yet, but I am fighting to bring these into this restaurant, and I will get them, which I think you've accomplished quite a few of them. Not all of them, but I think you've accomplished a few, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost, I'd say about 80%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
Now
cool.
I'll share another story with you, and Josh will edit it out if needed.
Shout out to Josh.
Shout out to Josh.
And then I want to hear about your top 3 pasta dishes and what's in it. And then we got to talk gelato.
Gelato.
So-
My favorite topic.
Tiramisu.
Ooh, tiramisu. He likes that one.
All right.
Let's talk mozz. Let's talk
Mozzarella.
Let's talk about that. So
Yeah.
it's very cool the way that you guys do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to toss it over to you.
know, so we stretch on mozzarella. So we buy the curd. You add the hot water and then put the salt and you make it fresh every day. So that makes a difference instead of being sitting in water and preservatives or anything like that. So we make it fresh every day. And then we do a burrata. Burrata it's a mozzarella. Basically, you take a mozzarella ball while it's still warm and stretchy. You poke a hole in it, and as you put something in there, it's called stracciatella. Or you put a spoon of ricotta and a spoon of mascarpone, and then you close it up and put it in a little bag, and all becomes happy and marries. And once it's cold, it has a little firmer layer on the outside and a very soft layer on the inside. So that's a burrata. And then we have a
That's Gary's favorite thing.
yeah, then we have a buffalo mozzarella. And buffalo, we're not talking Yellowstone buffaloes. These are water buffaloes. And I think the story is, and somebody told it to me once, I never researched it, that the facts checked out, but the king of Venice, long time ago, got a present from an African royal family that came to visit. And I think he brought him 8 water buffaloes. That was his present to the king of Venice. And he's like, what are we going to do with these cows? That's not going to make a tagliata fiorentina or anything like that. There's no meat on these guys. What are we going to do with this? So they used the milk, made mozzarella, and fell in love with it.
Interesting
And that's where the buffalo mozzarella comes from.
Interesting. I didn't know this.
Another great advantage of buffalo mozzarella is if you're lactose intolerant, you can certainly eat that because it doesn't have any lactose.
Interesting.
So that's very interesting too. And then we have, what else we have? We have the buffalo, we have the burrata, and we have the house stretch mozzarella.
And that's all one, and that's the appetizer dish that you bring.
Yeah, so it comes on different dishes.
Okay.
We have like the buffalo mozzarella with prosciutto and grilled peaches right now. We have a tray mozzarella,
That's
which has
good.
a little,
Yeah.
a little bit of each with some pickled cauliflower and so forth, little crostinis. And so we have it on several dishes.
I'm getting hungry. That sounds amazing.
absolutely.
That sounds amazing.
And then I know you wanted to talk pasta, but before we get to the pasta, we can't skip something that's very important between the appetizer and the pasta. You make homemade soup daily as well too. So it's tell us about the soup.
We make some, we do, we are, number one, we're the certified green restaurant. We were the first.
What does that mean?
Certified green restaurant in the state of Arkansas and obviously in Bentonville. And that means we follow all kind of criteria of no waste. We don't want to have any waste. So, it comes to energy efficient equipment, obviously, the way you build your restaurant with sustainable materials and paints and so forth.
Olive Garden can't
And
shout out.
use mostly organic if you can. Buy your food from a close radius. The smaller, so you don't have that carbon footprint. But unfortunately, obviously, we buy our Reggiano, Parmigiano from Italy. We got our prosciutto from Italy.
Yeah.
But we offset it with other things. And then it comes to recycling and so forth. So we compost all our food scraps.
That's fantastic.
There's
no scraps when we eat there, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's good.
I can promise you.
Potato peels, carrot peels, onion peels, that sort of thing, And whatever leftovers, bone like from our clam chowder or something like that, or bones from our stocks that we make and so forth, So we compost all that, and we recycle with a separate company all our glasses, all our glass bottles from the liquor to the wine and water and everything else. So that all gets recycled as well. We recycle all our cardboard separately, and we what else we do? Oh yeah, all our metal cans and plastic cans, but whatever comes to our restaurant.
That's amazing.
But you guys don't have to do any of this.
So
that's fantastic
no, we don't
that you do.
have to do any of
That's
it.
fantastic that you do that.
We chose
That's
all
wonderful.
our restaurants that we ever owned, we're always certified clean.
That's a good trendsetter.
Yeah.
If you could
So-
be
Yeah.
more like
And we were the first one in.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You said the first one in the state.
Yeah, first one in the state, first one in
That's
Bentonville.
incredible.
Shortly after, we saw some restaurants at the airport that joined on a lower level, like
Right.
an entry level, of being sustainable, which is nice because we don't want to be the only one.
And that
We
takes
just want to.
Yeah.
That
You
takes
are out
time
there.
and training.
Yes, of course.
And
I mean,
cost.
it's just I
know.
mean, you got to train your staff and train everybody to follow the protocol.
So we don't buy plastic forks, things. So we buy everything that's compostable. We don't use plastic or styrofoam for people who want to take their doggy bag home. Or
So you're bringing some of the California here. I mean, that's
So we do everything that's like already has been recycled, craft papers, even comes to paper towels in the kitchen that you wash your hands with. We don't use bleach. We use craft. It does cost a little more because it's not that popular and it's not that much of a demand, obviously. And but we save on other ends because we know waste. That's where the soup comes in. Let's get back to the soup. So we buy whole lobster, from Maine, fresh. We get them twice a week. We cook them. We break them out. Now we have all the shells. What do we do with the shells? We use stocks for the sauce for the pasta dish that we use it in, but we also make a lobster bisque, so we don't have any waste. So there, all the shells from the lobsters being used 100%. So there's no waste whatsoever. We use a lot of mushroom in our dishes, but when you use mushrooms, you trim the mushrooms, right? You have the little caps on the bottom, and some are a little harder, some you don't want to use, some that don't look that great, so we store all that, and then we make a mushroom soup, and we also make a mushroom bolognese. So we don't have any waste on
That
mushrooms.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Then we do all our charcuterie that we have. When you slice charcuterie, prosciutto, salami, coppa, speck, and all the good things that we have. Eventually comes to a point you slice, there's this much left, and you can't slice it anymore. So what are you going to do with it? Well, you want to throw it out? We don't throw it out. We grind it up and make a pork bolognese, which is even more flavorful if you just would use regular pork. Because all the cured meats in there, the mortadella, the
Sounds
prosciutto,
amazing.
the salami, and then we add ground pork butt to that.
So is that in the ragu?
Yeah, and
That's why that's my favorite dish.
It's rich and flavor. You get
so
all these
good.
flavors. You can't put it in by seasoning.
Right.
Yeah, it's impossible. But so that's what I'm saying. We don't really have any waste, and that's why that's where we save some money on that we can spend money on recycling and all the other things.
Right.
Smart.
It's like an offset.
So what are your top 2 or 3 dishes that the must-have for the first timers that come in? I know they're all amazing.
When it comes to pasta, my first choice is always the rigatoni budera.
It's my favorite.
That's what I cooked with Pino Longo, my old boss in New York City when I first started cook Italian food. That was in 1990 and 1991 when I moved to New York City. And I was French trained, traditionally, classically trained cooking. I worked in 3 Michelin-starred rated restaurant. I was a pastry chef in a 3 Michelin-starred rated restaurant in Munich and 1 Michelin-starred rated restaurants, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I have this wealth of knowledge, and nobody wanted to hire me. Number one, I didn't speak any English. That didn't help. And the only guy who hired me was this guy, Pino Longo, with this Italian restaurant. I said, okay, well, I never cooked Italian. Better, check it out. And the chef back then, Mark Strausman, very funny guy, New Yorker, real New Yorker.
How you doing?
Hey, forget about
Jewish
it.
New Yorker.
Oh, even better. How you
Oh,
doing?
short, heavy guy. And he worked in some of the hotels that I worked in Germany. So you saw it on my resume. It's like, oh, I worked there, worked over there. And he spoke a little German. I was like, okay. And he said, I already hired somebody. There's this girl, she was training yesterday. She's pretty good, but, I'd rather have you, but I don't want to be mean and tell her, okay, I found somebody else, you got to go. So why don't we do this? We do a competition. And I said, what's a competition? It's like, who makes the best mashed potatoes? German. He did not favor me at all. So she made mashed potatoes. I made mashed potatoes. clear winner. Done. I got the job.
I'm gonna need a text message when you make that famous mashed potato as a special one night or something.
We do it for family food. I love it. They're like, oh, that's a great thing.
Well, that's neat that you were a pastry chef. So my middle daughter, that's what she loves to make pastries and stuff.
Yeah.
So what made you switch to
Well,
like, kind of doing it at all?
I was always like in the kitchen, like
Okay.
chef.
Uh-huh.
But then in Germany you do your apprenticeship. It's a 3-year apprenticeship, which is like boot camp, which was brutal.
Yeah.
To say it nicely.
Yeah.
I mean, it was rough. It was crazy. First one in, last one out every day. And once in a while, once a week we had to go to school and learn all the other things. And sometimes they cancel school. And when there's no school, you're supposed to go to work. That's your 6th day going to work. I'm like, yeah, maybe the chef doesn't know. So the next day I go to work, and the chef says, "Hey, Soerke, how was school yesterday?" "Oh, great. What did you learn?" "Oh, yeah, we did this and this." "Go look at the schedule." I look at the schedule. No day off next week. Done. Okay, he knows. So much for that. But you also learn pastries. That's
Okay.
part of the education that you do. And then, but always like if I worked as a pastry chef, maybe I did it like for a year, and then I just got tired of it because it's just so mechanical and you got to follow the recipe.
Yeah.
If you make a souffle, you cannot. Oh, let me take this, and make a souffle. No. You gotta weigh every little thing, and it has to be super precise. And if it's not 100% precise,
Make sure you show this clip to Mallory.
Well, I haven't. Like
And
like
it's
the
like-
weather has to be. If the weather's off,
bread,
it's like
humidity,
it's all.
and barometric pressure when you make chocolate, and we did. It's a whole situation.
Yeah.
The chocolate will not set at a certain barometric pressure.
Wow.
So you got to change the temperature. And
Yeah, it's a science.
It's a whole. It's exactly. It's a
Yeah.
chemistry, science, whatever. And cooking is different. Oh, I found these beautiful tomatoes at the farmer's market. Got the basil. Look at this. Oh yeah, let's just toss
Look
it
how you're
together.
lighting up. Look how you're lighting up things. This is so
Yeah, now you're cooking.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't need a recipe.
Yeah.
You need the fundamentals of cooking,
Yeah.
but you don't need a recipe.
Right.
Pastry is different. So all our gelatos, we're talking about gelato. Obviously, we do have recipes that we have to stick to. However, I use about 30% less sugar than they even do in Italy. Why? Because pastry chefs don't really go by taste; they go by recipe, and then like, okay, that's what it's supposed to taste like, and make sure it always tastes that way. As a chef, you taste food, and it's like, well, maybe it needs a little more salt. Maybe we should put a little more this. Maybe a little more that, or this. So it's like, what if I take sugar out of because it's cold?
Right.
It kind of freezes your tongue, right? And like if you over sugar something, like your very sweet cakes like we have in America,
Right.
it's just like all you taste is sugar. You're like,
Yeah.
and you get full really quick. You're like, oh, I can't even finish this cake.
Right.
It's so much sugar, or it's too salty, or whatever. So I take out the sugar. I just like take 10% out. Oh, it tastes better. 20%, 30%, 40%. No, that's not a dessert anymore. So 30% less sugar than
Was the sweet spot.
we
No
give
pun
it.
intended.
And what it does, it's sweet, but it also accentuates the flavor of whatever you have. So now you taste the pistachios, you taste the chocolate, you taste the vanilla, you taste all the other things, the berries, the lemon.
So
or
good.
Or the mushroom gelato that we have.
Mushroom gelato?
Candy cap mushroom gelato.
Have you had
I've never tried
Which
that.
tastes
know if
like
I've had that one.
maple
Pistachio is
syrup
my
or
favorite.
molasses,
Yeah.
and it's like
Interesting.
delicious. Yeah, super good.
It's amazing.
So and gelato is healthier because there's less sugar.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get as full
Yeah, right.
when you walk
He's
home.
worried about your
Yeah,
diet. So
that's
See
it.
that?
That's it.
It's
Yeah.
30% healthier.
Yeah.
It tastes better.
have two.
and you have room for this. You
Yeah.
use Italian flour from Italy for our pasta, and we have a lot of people come in there like not celiac, but they have a low
Yeah.
tolerance to gluten, and they ask me, it says like, look, chef, tell me the truth. I want to know. And because our kitchen is open, they come frequently, just talk to me while I'm cooking. And it says like, been to Italy, ate pasta. I have no problem. I come over here, eat pasta. I get sick. What kind of flour you use? No, we use flour from Italy. It's really refined, top quality, the best you can buy.
Is that like a double? What do they
Yeah, it's
call
a
it?
000, but that is just the grind, the
How fine it is.
How fine
Right.
it is. But you got to use the
Well, I don't
right
even know you
durum
are.
wheat,
Right.
the right quality of flour, and it's like if you make you buy a regular flour at the store and you make a pound of pasta dough. You wrap it in plastic and you forget about it for 2 days in your refrigerator. You take it out and it's like, whoa, what happened to my pasta dough? It all has these little black spots on it because it oxidizes. With our flour, I can leave it for a month in the fridge and it will look exactly the same.
Isn't that crazy?
It doesn't oxidize, and it's easier on your digestion.
Right.
And because it doesn't have all the Monsanto GMOs and the extra high gluten and all.
Yeah.
It's like you eat a slice of bread over here. It's like 2 loaves in Germany.
Yeah.
It's like that's where your body overloads, and that's where people become gluten intolerant or get celiac because your body just shuts down. It's a security. It's like a safety measurement.
So Jenny and Dave, right, our family, they go to Italy quite a bit, and Jenny always comes back and says, I can't believe how good I feel when I'm over there, and I could eat whatever I want. And as soon as I come home, it's like someone flipped the switch. And I think it has a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
it truly does.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's a great.
I'm just going to have to walk down to Mezzaluna more often.
I mean, you're there 5 days a week.
Yeah,
Where can you
yeah.
be there?
Well, I mean,
you're walking past the 5:40, 4:45. Oh, that's Bob. That's Phil. That's Mike. Come on over.
Rob's like, I could probably make it today.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll probably see us there later tonight.
Well, and I love going in there because you're out working the crowd,
Yes.
and asking how everyone is, and it I don't know, it just makes you feel good when you.
Amy runs a fine oiled machine in the front of the house.
It's a tight ship. Trust me.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
She
got some
probably
good
keeps
people
you in
around
the back. She's like, don't be coming out here now.
Well, and you're very modest there in the corner. This is not the Amy I know.
Well, the kitchen is open though too, right? You can see into the kitchen, which is
Yeah.
so well, you can see you back there when Sergey
So you can yell at the chef.
throw stuff at you.
And throw things around. Whatever. Hey, I don't like my food.
But Amy, I know you're quieter on the podcast, but that's not when you're there. Like you're moving
In
stuff
charge.
around. Yeah, you are the boss when they're there.
Big boss.
Yes. I love it.
You,
I really love it.
You all have created an amazing team as
Amazing.
well there too.
Yeah.
Like service is always a 10.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, how do
Team
you,
is the best.
I was going to ask you, how are you finding most of the restaurant people? We've had a lot of restaurants come through here, and they all say the same thing. It's hard to keep staff.
yes.
It's hard to keep people.
Hard to
'cause
find 'em.
Every new
Yeah.
restaurant's opening up, and everybody's bouncing around to different places. So, how have
Everybody's
you guys
stealing
done such a
everybody.
good job with your staff?
So it's
We just think it's all about our people. We treat our people like we want to be treated, and we think that is the key to having the best.
Can I share the story about the bartender?
Yes.
All right, so Angie and I were there one night. Shocker, sitting at the bar.
It was a Tuesday. It was a Wednesday. It was a Thursday. It was yesterday.
It must have been a Tuesday because Abigail was off,
Yes.
and there was a certain other person behind the bar, and we started chatting with him, and very friendly guy. And his story, which I thought was amazing, was he worked at another local restaurant. And he wanted to work for your restaurant so bad for such a long time. He finally got his foot in the door and accepted a part-time position for 1 day a week until more opportunity opened up for him. And I think and correct me if I'm wrong, I think he did this for 6 or 8 months until that opportunity presented itself. And now I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he works there pretty much full time now.
Well, in fairness, he asked them what days you weren't there, and that was the only day he wanted to work.
That was why he only worked.
That's why I only one day. Bobby's here every day.
There's a good chance Rob won't be on Thursday.
They're like, he never comes on
He
Thursday.
never comes Thursday. That's my shift. That's the true story, Bobby.
Yeah, that's the true story. But did I get all of the facts pretty
funny.
close at least?
Yes.
I mean, that says a lot about a culture of any business, right? Whether it's a
Particularly in a
restaurant.
restaurant.
Yeah, especially in a
You
restaurant.
could go anywhere to work.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
Yeah. Obviously, y'all can tell this is my guest.
and not to mention all the money they make.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Oh, you're busy every single night.
Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome.
Well, we're coming up on time. Couple things before you go. Address, website, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Give us the best ways to find you guys, and I'll put it right up on the screen under your picture. I know that you guys don't need more business, but you always want more
You
business.
always need more
Yeah, you always want
Yeah.
more business. All right.
Mezzaluna Pasteria.com. And yeah, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and I think that's about it. TikTok, not so much.
Not so much?
Not so much.
Not
And
yet.
where will everybody find you? Well, I mean, I know where you are because Bobby practically walks there every day. But
Yeah.
what's the location?
215 Northwest A Street.
Okay, so if you're going through the square and neighborhood market's on your right-hand side, and
Literally
Pete
across
Croissant's on the
the
left, you're
street.
right across the street. On the okay.
Yes.
Parking? Where do people park?
Parking, there's a full parking garage.
Perfect.
Across the street.
Yeah, the best
Yeah.
parking for downtown.
Oh, it is.
It's right across
A
the
lot of
street.
people don't know that. So
But that's important.
Yeah,
People
that
hate
is.
going to
Yeah.
some of the downtown restaurants. They can't
you
park.
don't have to park all the way in the back and
No.
then walk out of the restaurant. You go right into the parking garage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take the elevator down,
Yep.
hit the little button on the crosswalk, and boom, you're there.
But that's super important.
No.
Yeah.
Parking downtown is not
100%.
easy.
No. And it's
Or they
only
could
getting
park
worse.
at Bar Nelson and walk.
All right, yeah. Or the it's only $20. I'll valet. I'll start a valet service for you guys.
In. Well, thank you guys for coming in. The one last thing for it. We've had 70 some odd episodes. We had a list before we opened of the places that we wanted to have on. And Rob, every week, Rob, where are you with Mezzaluna? When are we getting them in? I'm working on it. Rob, when are you getting Mezzaluna in? I'm working on it. Every
Gotta finesse
single
it. I gotta
week.
finesse it.
Is that true? When is Mezzaluna coming
It's all
in?
about timing.
And we'll cut this out, but when you texted me yesterday and you're like, oh, what time should we be there today? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Amy, it's Thursday, not Wednesday.
I was thinking just.
Oh, we had a mix-up once when it was like,
Oh, we're not cutting this out. Rob has one job to bring Mezzaluna, and he almost screwed it up, is what I'm hearing right now.
The problem is Josh takes all this really serious and Rob and I don't. So it's hard because he's trying to wrangle us.
Guys, get a guest to come in and please get Mezzaluna.
When you sent me that text, I'm like, oh God, here we go. They're not going to be able to make it, which I didn't say to you. And I'm only sharing it because you're here now. I'm like, oh, Josh is going to kill me.
Yes, because we always break each other's stones a bit, and then it's all right, guys. Podcast coming up. Where are we with guests? Crickets. Like if we were talking about something funnier, they'd all chime in with gifs and memes. Where are we with guests? I don't hear from them for 2 days.
Yeah,
guys.
we just set the phone down. We're like, whoa.
Wasn't in my contract.
don't know anything about it.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Mezzaluna, we love you guys.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome.